Something's tearing up your yard, you don't know what to do, you've come to the right channel. HowToPest.com. We're going to show you how to do that. Animal Trapping 101. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Craig here again, HowToPest.com. Today we are going to show you how to get rid of that nuisance critter out of your yard. It can be a raccoon, it can be a skunk, it can be a possum, it could be those digging squirrels. We're going to show you how to trap them. This is live trapping 101. I'm going to keep it very basic for you guys. There's a lot that's involved in animal trapping, especially you professionals out there. You know this, but I'm going to show you DIYers how to take care of it. So let's get started. You can see that I've got a couple different traps here. Now, trap-wise, what do you use? We use Tomahawk and we use Safeguard. Those are the professional grade traps, and they're professional for a reason. They're built with a stronger wire, they're built with a stronger mesh, they come with better triggers, better doors, so on, so on, so on. One of the main things they do is, if you look at this trap that's not covered back here, you can see how tight the backing is, versus as you get to the front of it, I can put my finger through it. A lot of the traps, you'll see this all the way through. This is done so the animal can't reach in with his finger, especially raccoons, and grab that bait and never go into the trap, so you never catch that problem animal. So that being said, can you go to your local Tractor Supply, your hardware store, heck, I don't know, Amazon it? You can probably get a trap. But if you want to do it right and you want traps that last forever, Tomahawk and Safeguard. You can go to their website, you can order directly from them. You are going to pay more, but it's going to be a trap that'll last you a lifetime. That being said, when you get your trap of choice, you have to get the right size trap. This is one of the biggest and most common mistakes that people do in animal trapping. Let's say you're going after a raccoon. Well, most adult raccoons, they're fairly decent size. So let's say you get a trap. I don't have one to show you. These are all 36-inch traps. But what people do is they get a trap too small. Not this small, but they get one that's about a 30. Now, if you get a 30, that raccoon can reach in. He can reach over the trigger pan right here. Let me show you. Like so. He can stand here and he can grab the food and get out without ever hitting the actual trigger pan itself. So you need to get them deeper into the trap, because what happens is, even if they do hit that on a smaller trap, this goes on their back like this, and they just back out. So they're not forced to be in there. So getting the right size trap is huge.
Size matters.
This right here is going to be more for a squirrel, and that's about it. That's about all I'd use a trap this size for, would be your common ground squirrels, tree squirrels, things like that. So now you see a trap uncovered, you see a trap covered. Why do you do that? It's going to make perfect sense when I explain it, and you'll think, oh yeah, when you trap animals, it is first come, first serve. You're going after a raccoon, it doesn't mean you're getting a raccoon. You're getting whatever animal comes to this trap first, and that could be a skunk. Now you seeing why you want this covered? Do you want to come up to this trap with a skunk in it and take the chance of getting sprayed by the skunk? I don't, and I've been sprayed more times than I can count. Even when they spray you in here, you are going to stink. I picked up a skunk years ago, and then I had a physical that I had to go do at the hospital. So I thought, oh, no big deal. I got the skunk in the back of my truck. Yeah, he sprayed. He hit the inside of the tarp. And I sat in the waiting room. And as I sat in that waiting room, I watched people walk by and make weird expressions, like something smelled really bad.
What does that smell?
I don't know.
And I thought, man, that's weird. There's a lot of people that think it really stinks in here. And then I watched a nurse go by and do it. Then I watched a doctor go by and do it, and patients. And I started realizing that bad smell was me. I got hit by a skunk. And it was really confirmed when I made it back to the appointment, and the nurse goes, whoa, you stink. That stuff is so fine, the particles in the spray, that even though you think it just doused the inside of that trap, it seeps out. And if you're close enough, it's on you. So can you imagine when it's not covered and you're trying to walk up and think, oh, I'll just slide a towel over this bad boy and I'm good to go. Yeah, well, you still got to transport it, so that towel's got to stay down. Why would you put yourself through that when you can just cover this? You go get a tarp at your local hardware store and you cover this thing like a Christmas present. The only thing you don't cover is the bottom. So it's the sides, the back. We use baling wire to hold it in place, and you're good to go. It doesn't matter what you catch. Now, that's the first reason, and I think the most important. But here is another reason, and this is why this is going to make trapping so successful for you. When you cover that trap, it doesn't look like a trap anymore. It looks like a hole, a den. They're more apt to go in it. You're going to increase your rates of getting that pest animal into that trap so you can take it and remove it from your property. Now, let's talk about baiting. So, baits, the discussion is all over the map, but you can use whatever that animal you're going after, they eat. Most of them are scavengers, so they'll eat just about anything. Now, you can take an open can of cat food and you can slide it to the back of your trap back here, back of your trap back here. But understand, when you get products like that, they're going to attract ants. So you're either going to have to spray all the way around your trap before you set it and then put the cat food and then monitor it on a daily basis. It'll eventually dry out too. I'm not a big fan of using cat foods like that. So this is what we do, and this is how you're going to have a high success rate of trapping animals. When we bait our traps in the back, we use baling wire and we hang the bait. So it's hanging on a wire. Why is that? It's visual for these animals. So when they go to that trap and they see it hanging, they're curious. They may not even be attracted to the bait. They're just curious on what's hanging. So what's hanging? Cheerios, meat, whatever you can hang, a hot dog, whatever you can hang from a wire, but don't hang one wire. Hang multiple wires. Hang at least 3. You got one here, one a little further, and one here. So now they just see that. It's like a cat. They want to go in. They kind of just want to play with it, figure it out. Well, when they do that and they go in, they're trapped. And now you've caught your animal. Okay, guys, we talked about that baiting. We talked about wiring up that bait. If the camera can pick this up, this is how that bait will look. Whatever your bait of choice is, these are hanging from a baling wire in the back of the trap. This is old bait, so it's got dust and debris all over it. It was at one time dog food. What you're going, dog food, how do you string that? Or maybe you're not. You use that soft dog food. You can run that wire straight through. We love using dog food. Cheez-Its are good too. They have a hole in them. You just have to be creative. You're going for the visual effect, not so much for them going in and wanting to eat it. Once they're trapped, a lot of times we'll find the bait's not even touched. They're just in the trap. Now you got that problem child that you're like, they keep going in the trap and they get the food and we can't figure out how. Okay, so you're going to have to be more creative than they are. So here's a trick of the trade. You see that trigger pan right there? You're going to cut a piece of cardboard. Trying to balance this for you. You're going to cut a piece of cardboard that's the size of the bottom of this, but you're going to put it all the way where it sits on top of the trap. So now they can't see this trigger pan, so they don't know where to stop and reach over for the food. The cardboard is just gently laying on top of this trigger pan back here. So now when they go in, they hit that. You see the door shut? That's what happens. They hit this, door shuts, they're in. So big enough trap for what you're going after. And if you need to get creative, put the cardboard in there to fool them where they don't know where this trigger pan is. Now let's talk about another mistake that I see. I see people going, oh, I got a skunk and he's digging in here. So they take this trap right here and they set it in here, but they set it on top of a rock. So that rock goes up through here, a smaller rock, and it stops this trigger pan from actually going down. So now they're eating the bait every time, but the trap's not set. Well, that's because the trigger pan has something stopping it from going down. So you need to make sure this is on a flush surface. Even if you put it in dirt, you don't want to push it in there and grind into the dirt and enough dirt built up in here where this won't go down. So those are problems that people encounter when they try to do trapping. And these are things we've just learned over doing 20 years of trapping. Okay, so you've trapped your animal and now you need to get rid of it. Well, first of all, you got to find a place to go release this animal if your state allows you to do that. When you're releasing this animal, probably in the back of a truck and not the back of your Honda Accord, I recommend, and use a bigger trap for this, I recommend that you stand just like this and you take this trap and you open the door. How all these traps open, I don't care if you even get the cheap ones. This right here is a stop to stop this from opening. You push up on this stop like so, and you hold it open, which allows you to push this bar back. As you're pushing the bar back, this is for your finger, the door will continue to rise. If you have a problem, it's because this keeps jamming. See this jamming on me? So I just push this down and lift. And then when you get it up in here, it's got a little trigger that the door actually rests on right here. See this little trigger? And if you didn't have this in here, you could reach over here and pull this. It's probably hard to see, but it just rests on that. Now, it just reminded me of something. Try to rest that door as far up on the trigger, on this trigger right here. Here, maybe that's easier. That's easier. Okay. Rest the door as close up to that as possible. If you put it deep in there, it takes more pressure on the trigger in the back to set it off. That's my preference. You can get them either way. We just like to make that door really sensitive. Kind of like we've showed you on the rat traps. It's on the sensitive side of the rat trap and not the firm. Same with this. Even though it doesn't have a sensitive and a firm, kind of want to make it sensitive. Okay, so releasing that animal, like I was saying, you stand here, you raise this up, get yourself a clamp. Clamp this door open, set the trap back down, and walk away. Now, if that animal will not leave that trap, there's a pro tip. Take a piece of paper, crumpled up newspaper, and stand back and start crinkling it. They're going to think something's walking towards them, and they'll slowly start to walk out of the trap and go on their merry way. If they will not do that, take yourself a little small water bottle. When you clamp this open, stand this way and tilt the trap back. The door will stay open, but now you can stand back here with a water bottle and give little squirts. I guarantee you, when you hit them with little squirts of water, they'll run out of the trap. Your trap's empty, you're good to keep trapping. So guys, that's animal trapping in a nutshell. There's a lot of things that professionals do on top of that. Out of breath, I gotta work on cardio. So they do other things like the way they place the traps, where they won't and will place traps. Never force an animal into a trap. If you have a skunk burrow, don't put your trap right up to the hole. Give them the option. Stand back, make everything as natural as possible. Okay guys, let me show you real quick how to bait these, or not bait these, how to set these traps. We already showed you how to bait them. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna press this up right here. See how this bar won't go back? The bar won't move. You're gonna press this up and you're gonna push the bar back. A lot of these will be spring loaded, so you'll have to keep pushing the bar back and then you'll lift. As you lift this door, do you see this trigger right here? This little hook? That's what the door sets on. They all look a little different, but same concept. They're always gonna have a hook, and you raise the door up and you place the hook, let go of the door, let it rest on that hook right there. Let it rest. You're done. Make sure it's baited right and you're good to go. That's it on animal trapping, guys. It can be cut and dry, but do it the right way so you have success. Craig here again, howtopest.com. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Any comments or questions, something you want me to answer about animal trapping, I'm happy to. Reach out to us. We do that. Have a great day, guys.